All right.
Hey everyone, we are here at the East Market. It's me and John Miller.
Hello.
And John said he's going to coach me, give me some lessons.
We're gonna get you to 2,000. Yes.
To get me to be a better chess player. So here we go. John told me nothing in advance. I have no idea what's gonna happen. We have this little board set up right here, and then I'm going to put all the moves on Lichess so the viewers can see. All right. Oh, is there anything you want to say, John, before we get started?
This is serious training to get her to 2,000. That's the goal. So I teach to my level, and that's what we're gonna do.
Okay. All right. Let's get started.
Okay. So you know basic chess. You teach basic chess. You know all those principles. The idea in martial arts is that you don't have to teach somebody who already has practice, who already has technique. What you have to do is you have to play with people who can make you stronger.
Okay.
Which means, basically if you want to be an expert, you have to have experts. You want to be a master, you have to have masters. You want to be above that, you have to have players above that. So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to play.
Okay.
And then we're going to figure out from there what we need to fix.
Okay.
That's how you would do it if you were a martial artist with a Sifu.
Yep.
And you would go through and then they would correct you as you go. The question I have is, how many games have you memorized?
None.
Can you show me any games?
No.
So that has to change. And I don't care if it's your games, but
Okay.
I'd rather you learn from the best. So the thing about it is,
Okay.
you understand chess and you can understand what the pros are doing, even at the highest levels. Magnus
Yeah.
Carlsen, Nakamura. Study their games. Find your mistakes in your games.
Yeah.
Find a player who has your repertoire.
Yeah.
And study their games.
So I have a question too, though. I'm going to remove this for a second because I've told this to a lot of people that my memory is pretty bad. And I know what you were saying is there are strategies you can do to improve your memory or tricks.
I hate to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but there is the hidden curriculum. They
Okay.
do teach different things to different people
Yeah.
in school. And the power of low-key is a real thing and is pretty well known now that we have more free information, right? So people haven't heard of Ron White, the memory champion, things like that. The reality is that this chessboard is a memory system.
Okay.
And each square is a memory technique.
Okay.
And if this was a room in the house, you could start with room A1. You could put anything you want in there. Pink elephants. You could put an airship in there. But the point is that you have to have action in it. So you see it crashing into the square, and that would be your trigger.
Okay.
You have to improve your memory for anything in life, not just for chess. And that if you don't put the chess with the life, then basically chess is the hobby, and you're studying chess for the sake of playing chess, like you would any game for enjoyment.
Yeah.
But if you learn the memory techniques and you learn the thinking techniques, then you can actually apply it outside of chess for academics, for business, for whatever you want to do in life. And that's very important because chess at the expert level is very different than chess at everything else. So that's where it starts. You have to start at the expert level. Experts don't do what 98% of the players do. Every person who plays can be an expert. And that's the tricky part. So then you ask yourself, well, why isn't everybody an expert? Rising water raises all ships. Well, you have to have access to experts to get better because you have to raise your level. You have to have, and then at the same time, you have to put in the work.
Yeah.
You can front load it. You can put it on the back end, however you want to do it. But everybody can be an expert. So you don't have to have 10,000 hours. It can be exponential. But you do have to learn how to memorize games.
Okay.
Now, you don't have to have perfect recall, but I would start with the idea of learn the names of the players,
Yep.
the date it was played,
Okay.
and the place it was played. And that will give you a trigger to remember a game.
Yeah.
So, if we were to start with something basic, you actually do have access to games. So if you show me a variation of the Sicilian that you know well, you're already showing me that you. So,
I see. Okay.
for instance, I'm going to go ahead and start.
Okay.
We'll turn the board
Oh,
this
so
away.
we're gonna play.
We're gonna play.
Okay. We might just do I wonder if we can just share the board.
Yeah, if you move that back on up, I think we can show the board. All right, that works.
All right, everyone.
All right. Now, you're a Sicilian aficionado,
I am,
so
yes.
I am going to start here.
It's no secret to anyone that's ever played me.
So we're going to teach you the first mistake. I mean, no pressure, but this is
This is the Smith Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For somebody who doesn't memorize games, you already
Yeah.
know the variation.
Because Henry told me I gotta play A6 at one point, and I don't know when, but there's he's beaten me several times when I don't play A6.
First of all,
Yeah. Okay.
you
Okay.
got to listen to players who, first of all, always listen to yourself.
Okay.
First. Don't listen to advice from anybody who's not at the level you want to be at.
Okay.
Limit your sources.
Yes. So normally then I would play this.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a variation. There's nothing wrong with that. And then normally when I see that, I have a tricky line I play online
Ooh.
where I play an early H3.
Okay.
So now,
Yeah.
computers have changed chess.
Sure. Yeah.
So everything has a name to a computer. This might be an early H3 Smith-Morra, but the point is that all I'm doing is keeping your bishop out, right? Simple. We know the principles. We know not to move the same piece twice in the opening. Let's just keep going.
Okay. So I have a question too, because I would play differently now than if I had
You're
a like
training.
a
You have to play like you're in a tournament.
Okay. But I play in like the Tuesday night tournaments that are quick chess tournaments. Does that count? Like
Yeah, that
Okay.
counts. But right now, you are in a tournament situation where you're trying to work on your book, so you play your main line. You play what you're going to play in a slow chess tournament right now,
I got it.
so that you can.
At this point, I would think a while because I would not normally see this H3 move.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would think a while, and then you would do what? What would you play?
Okay. Well, then I have to think now. Is
Okay.
okay.
So what are
okay.
you thinking?
Okay, so I would think, why would he play this instead of a more developing move like a bishop?
Well, one of the thoughts you have to have was that neglects development toward the center.
Yeah,
It delays castling.
yeah.
Did you have those thoughts at all?
Not well. Developing.
No,
towards-
stop. The reason why I asked that is
Yeah.
because that's what an expert was thinking,
Yeah,
and you're not.
yeah,
I'm trying to get you to think.
yeah,
When they play this, you say, well, it's an early H3. It
Yeah.
neglects development toward the center.
yeah,
It delays castling because he didn't move one of these pieces.
Yeah.
It also didn't develop a piece.
yeah.
So that's the downside of this. And if you're not recognizing the downside of your opponent's move, you don't have a chance to beat them.
Yeah. So then I would think, well, why would he play that?
Okay, so that's not where we're at.
Oh,
We're at
yeah.
where we are specifically at
Yeah.
what are the pluses and minuses of this move.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to figure out why anybody does anything, you want to know the actual facts to what this square means for this piece and what it means for all the other pieces, and then play from there. This is neglecting development toward the
Right.
center, and it's delaying development of the
Right.
pieces, and that slows down castling.
Yeah. But there's
Okay.
got to be a plus that you would play
The
that.
plus is that I keep your bishop from hitting my knight when I put my knight there. Because it's a Smith-Morra, I've sacrificed a pawn, and I need the knight for tactics later.
So you.
I'm
'cause-
keeping the
yeah.
pieces on. I'm
Okay.
stopping you from making trades so that you don't realize your pawn advantage.
Okay. So then, without having looked at this position before, I'm thinking
Develop your pieces.
playing A6.
Why? Why would you play A6 here?
Because
Look, I'm not going to be easy on you.
I know.
But just because Henry told
I
you that
know.
doesn't mean you stop thinking. You have to keep thinking. And the thing that you have to realize is it's all about development with people who aren't experts. The first thing you have to do is not drop pieces and develop your pieces. So until you complete your opening, which means getting your rooks to center as the last thing you do,
Yeah.
you have to think in terms of opening principles, which are develop toward the center, develop your pieces quickly, generally knights before bishops, but not always. Don't move the same piece twice unless you have a very good reason.
Well,
If
so
that's the case,
yeah.
what is a better move than A6 here? You don't want to
Well,
create
okay,
the
so
weaknesses.
like let's say like this is like pre me losing to Henry twice by not playing A6. I would consider knight C6.
Good move.
I would consider. I would probably play knight C6.
Okay. Knight C6 allows a pin.
Yes.
But at the same time, trading a bishop for a knight is not always the best, especially long term. Especially if somebody can keep the two bishops.
Yeah.
It neglects your king side development.
It does. This is true.
So let's work on king side development first.
Okay, so cool. Because like I was looking at if I play knight F6.
Do you see any drawbacks to knight f6?
Well, E5, you would give up a pawn, and then so because see, I don't quite know. I guess the reason why I would play A6 was because there are holes in my knowledge about the opening of how I got lost twice by not playing A6.
You're not talking.
And so-
Those games are totally different.
No, I know.
So here's
But
the thing.
yeah,
Yes, you're right. You have to be aware of the pawn push,
Yeah.
pawn takes queen, and then king over. But
Yeah.
that also gives you another pawn.
It does.
And
yes.
now you'll be up 2 pawns because
Right.
remember, you already got 1 pawn. And
Right.
that is a winning advantage. That's what you want your opponent to do.
Right.
And there are no tactics to follow up with,
Yeah.
especially since the king is covering the square that he would normally 4-point, and the king's not even on the 4-point square at that point. So, no, you want your opponent to give you material. Remember what we said? We said we want to hang on to our pieces and develop our pieces. So, knight of 6.
But then also, what about bishop f4 after knight f6?
Yeah.
That's what I was
okay, so this is the part that where we're sparring, and I want you to answer that question. What does bishop f4 do?
It helps protect the e5
It
square.
attacks e5. Okay. It neglects. You have to complete the. You see, that's the thing. Is right now you're
Yeah.
telling me, hey, bishop does this.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me what else it does. It neglects kingside development.
Yeah.
It creates a weakness on b2,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
It allows an early e5, which is something you don't
Right.
want to do in the Sicilian in most cases.
Right.
Especially since I can't play bishop g5. There's no pin there, and you would just take it. So we know that bishop f4 is a bad move in this position.
Wait. So if I play knight f6 and bishop f4.
Okay, we're not there yet. You're going into a variation, and you're still on principles of development. Go ahead and play your knight to f6.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to play my knight out too. You know why? Because I have to develop my pieces.
Yeah.
We don't need to think about all that other stuff yet. We're getting our pieces out.
Okay. But if you had played here, or if you had played
Nope,
here,
we're not even talking about that. So this is crucial.
Okay.
If you get sidetracked with all that, you're going to lose
Yeah.
every game you play.
Hmm.
We're going to streamline your thinking to think like an expert. What is your goal right now?
Well, but it's very possible at the level that I play at that somebody would play this.
And that's what you're hoping for. You want somebody to play at that level so you can beat them.
Well, but why is that? I guess I don't understand quite why that you say that's bad.
I'm going to say it again. What
Yeah.
is it that it doesn't do?
It doesn't
Develop your pieces.
Yeah. But then should I play this?
Yes.
Okay.
And then they have to do what? Move it again. And then
Okay,
that
yeah.
breaks all the clear
I
principle,
guess
right?
yeah.
So now, no, wait, stop.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is I don't need to be facetious if I'm
Yeah.
teaching. I need to be a teacher right now. So the thing that I'm telling you is, look, if somebody plays that bishop there, it neglects kingside development. It puts it where it's going to have to move twice.
Yeah.
And it doesn't actually do the thing that it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So that's what you want your opponent to do.
Mm,
Now, if you want to make mistakes like that in chess, that's the thing that's being exploited by experts.
yeah.
So once you understand why that's wrong,
Yeah.
then you go back to, well, if I had just stuck with developing my pieces,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have made that mistake to begin
Yeah.
with.
Well, I guess I didn't know from the start that it was wrong. Like I didn't know that this would be.
That's
yeah.
why we're having this.
No,
discussion.
yeah.
So here's the crucial part, though.
Yeah.
The reason why you can recognize that
Yeah.
it's wrong is
Yeah.
because it neglects
Yeah,
development.
yeah,
And we're on the principle of development.
Yeah.
We've got the 4 principles.
yeah.
Develop your pieces.
Okay.
So
And
I'm
then,
developing. You're
And then
developing.
you're also using the knight to protect
Yeah.
the e5
So we know about the
square.
center. You are well past that.
Okay.
We don't need to talk about that.
So I'll go. I want to play e6 still.
Okay. Play e6 then.
Okay.
No. No.
I have to do this
No,
because
you do
I
not have to do that.
okay.
You do not have to do that. You can play e6. Play e6.
No, I said a6.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no. A6.
E6. I think is well. Hold on, I want to calculate. So if I play,
No, we're not
E6
calculating
Why not? How?
because we're still on principle. We're still in book. This position can be looked up and memorized. Okay.
Okay.
So we're not calculating in the opening. We're playing on principle right now,
Okay.
which means you either are playing knight c6 or e6.
Okay. A knight c6.
Okay. Knight c6. And I'm going to get really aggressive and play bishop here.
Okay.
Now, what are you thinking? Seriously, what are you thinking?
I don't want you to move e5.
Why don't you want me to move e5? Because you're worried about bishop takes f7? No, you weren't thinking about that at all. So bishop takes f7, you have to look at now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, you have to look at tactics with bishop takes f7,
Okay.
knight check, and all that good stuff. But right now, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
The main thing you're looking at in this position, where you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone,
Yeah.
is getting this piece developed so you can castle.
Yeah. So e6.
Okay, play it.
Well,
Play e6.
Wait, well, I can't. Okay, but okay. So my okay. I want to just look at one thing really.
Tell me what it
okay.
is.
Is
have a
if,
question, ask
if
me.
I play e6 and you play e5?
Okay.
Okay.
You want me to do what?
Well, no. I was thinking what I would do.
Well, you
if
wouldn't take back with the knight,
No.
because then knight takes knight,
Yeah.
pawn takes knight,
Yeah. And then
bishop takes check.
yeah.
Well, we're past that. You're well past those tactics. You can see that stuff. I'm not working on that. I'm working on changing your thinking so you can play like an expert. Okay.
But I don't. How do I say this? Like I would still need to calculate that. Like if I was playing a tournament, like
Sure.
that's where I would spend
And
a
you
lot
just
of my
did,
time.
but you saw that, and you can spend your time on that. But right now, what's the principle? Develop your pieces. And guess what? After the move you suggested to begin with, that's not even possible.
Well, no. I know, but
But that point is like you're worried about this, and you already said this, and guess what that prevents? And that's how chess works. If you play correct chess, one move at a time, you never lose a game.
right. But it does. I mean, yeah. So if you play this, right? So that's why I was.
You already
yeah,
have the
yeah.
answer.
No, yeah, but
So no, that's really important. You sat there and you said, I've got to play e6 to get my bishop out.
yeah,
But you calculate a whole variation,
yeah.
and you don't have to because you're going to play e6 to get your bishop out.
Well,
So this is prophylaxis. This is
Yeah.
Nimzowitsch.
Yeah.
This is, hey, I'm going to restrict my opponent's pieces.
Okay.
You're preparing either e5 or d5. You're playing e6,
Okay.
and you're getting your bishop out. The other way to do it would be to go this way, and that's more dangerous because obviously it takes longer.
yeah.
So, all right,
Yeah,
so
okay.
we're here
Okay.
now. You know, if I play something crazy and move the same piece twice, then you start thinking, well, why is he making that mistake? And you have to recognize it as a mistake. You have to assume your opponent's making mistakes, even in the opening, even in their first move. You always assume your opponent is bad at chess and making mistakes because they are. The computer rips us all apart. That's not the big deal. The big deal is understanding that you don't even have to worry about all that other stuff if you just stick with developing your pieces. All right, so we're in a good position. You played this. What do you think my next move is?
E5.
Very simple. Castle.
Okay. I still don't understand if you played e5, like I still don't know what I would do though. Like because if I guess okay, so my knight's here. So if I take here, and then the knight just takes back,
Mm-hmm.
and then take here.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's okay.
Yeah, you can always move the king back if you need to.
Okay. So, all right. So you castled. Okay. And then I'm gonna move
My castle.
Yeah. And then
you moved your
I'm
bishop
moving my
out.
bishop to castle.
So what's my next move?
Probably maybe your bishop on c1.
That would be good. I could play bishop g5, threatening pawn takes, but in order to do that, I want to start taking advantage of my opening play
Okay.
and play queen here.
Okay.
The reason why is because I'm going to stick a rook on this file and attack this pawn.
Okay.
We've got this Boleslavsky's wall here, and I want to attack it. All right, so Boleslavsky was a very strong Russian player who happened to be Bronstein's father-in-law. And they call it Boleslavsky's wall for a reason. But anyway, we've got a situation here where I played this. I've got my battery. I've got my pieces. I've got a lead in development. But you have a pawn, and you're about to have a castle. So you're going to castle. I'm going to pin your pawn, trying to threaten pawn push, and then that way you can't take back.
Threaten pawn push. Okay, so I gotta get out of the. So I gotta get out of. So
Okay. Now, if I play knight here, where do you go? You don't go back to here. So you either go here or here, right?
Yeah, but if
And
I
it's
go
more common to go here with Sicilian.
because you're.
You're helping to protect the pawn, and you're keeping the queen from getting too exposed. So, but that's also a wasted move and a bad move, because then when you play a6, as Henry suggested, you play it with tempo, which is what you're really trying to do. That's the problem with playing an a6 and an h3 without something being there, is you're wasting time.
See, yeah, and so that was how do I say this? That was like when I don't a6 I would only play because Henry was like, you play this, but I said like I don't know.
There are sometimes you have to prevent it.
Yeah.
If you're playing in the Budapest and you don't play A3 and
Yeah.
you're a beginner and you don't know what you're doing, you just lost the game.
Yeah.
But in this position, you're first of all, you're not a beginner.
Yeah.
Second of all, it doesn't make sense until the knight is there.
Yeah.
And then you kick the knight
Which
back.
knight? This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
If the knight goes there, you move the queen, then you kick the knight back out. Here, bishop here, right? So this is the point of the Smith-Morris. I have to have a target.
Sure.
I'm going to try to win my pawn back with tempo and a lead in development.
Well, sorry. Can I go to you back a move? So, because the other move I was thinking was to move my queen here.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking your knight could come.
There's a couple answers to that. One, this one.
Okay.
Now your queen's under threat, and now you have to do what? Move your queen again.
Yeah.
We don't like that.
Okay, but you said, but I don't know. So if you go here, like you
That's
said,
a waste of time by white.
because I just come here.
Yep, and then the difference
Oh,
is
and then I push a6.
exactly.
Okay,
you
I
get your
see.
And when
I
you
see.
wait, this is key though.
Yeah.
When you play 6, you get your time back
Yeah,
for moving the queen twice.
yeah.
There's always trades.
Okay,
You're
I
trading.
got it now.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah, good. So then you move your bishop here, which is good. Okay.
Now you have to decide how you want to defend this. There's a couple ways you can do this. You can play
Yeah.
d5, right?
Yeah.
Bishop here,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take the knight and then play knight here.
Yeah.
Get the strong outpost, right?
True.
And then if you don't want to do that, you can simply get tricky with it. Maybe you play here. I know you're looking at it. You're
My
like,
face is like, what? Okay.
why does this
Take.
You have 2 defending, they have 2 attacking, take, and then the bishop is on 3. You keep your extra pawn, you get more control over the center, and then if the knight attacks, you simply go backwards again. And then you kick your rook over and move your bishop out.
And it does, like, this gives more space for my dark squared bishop.
You have more scope. We're not going to call that space, we're going to call that scope, okay?
So, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that's crucial. We've already identified some really important things in just this first lesson.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, the way that you're thinking about the openings, I want you to think in a more complex way.
Okay.
The drawbacks of the move,
Yeah.
along with the pluses and minuses, right,
Yeah.
are really important. So if somebody's neglecting kingside development,
Yeah.
that can be worth anything from material to just simply develop your own pieces and you have a long-term advantage.
Yeah.
But you have to recognize it.
Okay.
So when you're talking about positions, you're no longer talking in terms of what you were talking about. Hey, what happens if bishop f4? You're saying no. First of all, it's an early pawn move on the flank
Yeah.
that neglects developing toward the center.
Yeah.
That's a violation of opening principle.
Yeah.
Then you say, well, first, can I punish it? If I can't punish it, how do I take advantage of it?
Yeah.
And usually the answer is to do your normal development. Sometimes the answer is more extreme. All right, so here we are, and we've played this knight move twice now, but we've done what with this knight? Attack the piece. This is why it doesn't lose time to move the same piece twice in the opening, is because
Got it.
here you stop tactics here
Yeah.
and you attack the piece.
Yeah.
And now they have to do something about it.
Yeah.
They can take, and then you have the bishop pair, and you have a strong center, and then you have to complete your development and take
Yeah.
advantage of that. Or you can play a different move. Put another piece on there.
See, this one is more this is more complicated because
Bush.
yeah, and then you have to calculate like
All sorts of things.
yeah. Because you have 3 things protecting this E5 square.
Exactly.
Okay, so
So we know pawn push doesn't work because a pawn takes, and you lose a piece.
wait,
So
what did you say? So
we know that pawn push doesn't.
oh, well, pawn push for mine because
So
take yeah.
So then the question is, does takes work?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What are your options?
I could take the rook.
You
I could
could take a
take
rook,
the
but that would give up the
knight.
file. Now they would have a rook
Yeah.
and you wouldn't.
I could take the knight.
Taking the knight.
Well, but then the bishop takes, and now my queen's got to move, or
No, the
my
queen's
bishop
not moving yet.
blocks.
Okay, your bishop blocks. And then this happens.
Oh dear.
You always have to keep track of those
Yeah.
tactics, right? All right, so the oh dear moment has happened. We were trying to get there. We did. We're in this critical position here,
Okay.
right?
So then I could move my knight back to e8.
You could. You could move your knight back to e8. All right. What was that other move we were looking at earlier that was less complicated than rook over?
Yeah. There's the rook.
What was the other move?
The knight. Take e5.
Much easier to play.
It is, yeah.
Now, we're not going to do any of this. We're going to go home, we're going to study our openings and learn the variation. Because if you play the Sicilian, you have to know
It's true.
this bit more. And once you've seen this with me,
Yeah.
you can do your own research.
Okay.
I guarantee you, because I'm teaching you,
Yeah.
I'm going to know it next time we sit down.
So it's homework.
No, this is you're a chess player, right?
Yeah.
And you're a chess teacher.
Yeah.
This is not homework. This is you being a chess teacher and a chess player.
So it's because when I see you next, you're gonna ask me.
That's a whole separate thing from this. This is to get you to win tournaments. Okay?
Okay.
And you are not trying to please me. You're trying to win tournaments.
Better myself,
No,
yeah.
you're not even, you can better yourself all you want as long as you win a tournament.
Oh dear.
Okay, that's what I want.
All right. When it's
So you're an expert, you're gonna win a tournament.
Okay.
And to do that,
Yeah.
you're gonna simplify and play the easier variation as
Oh
black.
yeah. Okay. I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Play the easier variation.
So now they're here.
Yeah.
I don't see any sacks here. And we know what happens if they take, because they have to move their bishop again, and you win that variation, right? Then you move your bishop, play rook c8, and you have more pressure here.
Okay.
So that's crucial. Is you're playing the Sicilian, and you have a semi-open c5.
Yeah.
Okay. So we found out the other variation is what I'm after when I play this before.
Yeah.
Complications, pressure on d6. This one, guess what just happened? Not a whole lot of pressure. So I could take, I can move my bishop back.
Yeah.
I can play a knight here all I want. Kicking and screaming. Yep, the knight's going to have to move again eventually.
Yeah.
All right, so this move works.
Yeah.
What comes next? Do I take it? A lot of the time, actually, I do take it.
Okay.
And then I play this move.
Yeah.
And this is just me playing online against bad players.
Okay.
And I win a lot of these.
Yeah.
And guess what? I shouldn't win a lot of these. You know, at this point, it's just a question of you completing your development. You know, you're going to play bishop up.
Yeah.
And you're going to play. See, you recognize it, right? You're going to play rook over, and when you play rook over, okay, the bishop can't take this. The bishop can't take this pawn because there's always going to be pressure here. Yes, exactly. And you will have completed your development before I completed mine, which is bad because I gave you a pawn and I still didn't get my rook to center before you got your last two rooks in the game. And that's the difference between playing expert chess.
Yeah.
Experts are experts at the opening. They shouldn't lose in the first 13 to 20 moves of the game. Okay?
Yeah.
Most of my opponents are down a pawn in the first dozen moves of the game because they're not experts.
Yeah.
Masters have mastered all three phases of the game. Experts have not. So you can still beat the experts too. All right, so this is critical. So now we're understanding the levels. We're understanding the difference in the way that we're thinking.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go back,
Okay.
set it up real quick, and finish this lesson.
Okay.
Short lesson.
We have a comment. Tom Bosa says, "I love the English opening." Do you love the English opening too, John?
The English opening, I do not play, and I do not love it, but I respect people who do. Don't expect me not to be brutally honest. If you do not play classical openings, you will not be good at the English opening. You will not know transpositions to queen pawn openings. You won't understand reverse Sicilians. You won't understand the Breyer variation. So obviously I know something about the English opening. I don't play it very often. But at the same time, if you don't understand it fully, the English opening is not where you should start with chess. You should start with classical E4, E5 openings. You should go through the entire Romantic period, get through the gambits. Then you should get into the dogma of Steinitz. Then you should get into the Russian school that started to change into modern openings. Then you get into the hypermodern theory, starting with Reedy. And then you get into the computer age of chess, which is what we've been in for the last, I don't know how many decades now. And you get into modern theory, right? So you have to go through all the phases in history in order to have a foundation and play chess in a complete way. Otherwise, you'll always have holes in your games. That's what the pros don't tell you, is they've memorized all of these old games, right? The Evergreen game, the first Brilliancy Prize game with H.E. Bird. They've got a database in their head. The database alone can get you to expert level. That's why Laszlo Polgar's chess is so good. It's because that whole book is basically whatever Russian schoolboy knows. So my favorite book by Yakov Nishta is in there because all the games that are in that book, all 300 of them, are in Laszlo Polgar's chess. And that's not by accident. It's because if you're going to make a prodigy, you have to have those 300 games. So Judith Polgar knows those games.
Oh, they wrote memorizing. Yeah. John's all about memorizing.
No, I mean, memorization is part of being able to win tournament chess. But again, Capablanca is famous for saying, I play chess one move at a time, but it's the correct move. Now, Capa was not telling the truth. He plays chess beautifully. He played chess beautifully many moves ahead. But he made the point that if you simply play one move ahead correctly, you will not lose. And most likely you will win because your opponent will make a mistake. Playing one move correct chess is not how you play chess. That is just starting off with the principles of play. So, all right. We're gonna do something different now.
Okay.
We're gonna turn the board around.
Okay.
And we're gonna play again, and we're gonna talk about whether or not you picked up the things that we just talked about in this lesson. So this is our review.
All right.
Go ahead and play.
So we're playing the same thing we played?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
Otherwise, we can't apply it. And remember, we're sparring. When we play the same thing over again, that's just a kata. That's just practicing. Okay. We're sparring, which means this is a fight. Which means you're actually in your technique, and we're changing your game as you go.
Okay, so I have a question then, because this is just trying to get me to expert, but I don't play E4.
We're not trying. We're getting you to expert. We've already started because you're already changing the way you play.
Yeah.
Play what you normally play.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay. Okay. Now, the thing about the early bishop g5 is that you have to be able to answer what move.
Well, so I see a lot knight bd7,
sure.
and I see a lot of h6 and g5 and pushing the bishop
But
around.
you also have to be able to answer something.
True. Yeah. Because this comes to bite me, especially when the bishop's on e7 as well.
Which is why most players do what first?
I don't know most players. So, I used to play this first.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, but then you can't play your move.
Yeah.
You want to play bishop g5 variation.
So
Well, no.
Oh, knight.
There you go. You've got your Moran, your semi-Moran, all these different lines, right?
Yeah.
But the point is that if you do the principle of knights before bishops, sometimes it works, sometimes it maybe it doesn't make sense.
Sorry, yeah. Wait, why does this work again? Because if I go here, because you can still...
The bishop's protected.
Oh, I see. Okay, got it.
Makes sense. All right. And you worked on your kingside development.
True, yeah, the castle.
Remember, the drawback to the queen's pawn openings is that you do slow down your development. But you do it to get a mirrored type of game and long-term pressure. You take advantage of that first move, give it back in order to get a different type of development. Okay. So we're now in a situation where you're no longer playing an early bishop g5, and you're playing knight f3.
Okay, sure.
And then I am simply going to develop my bishop. What does that do? Where's the weakness at? After I move my bishop, where's the weakness?
For you or for me?
For me. I moved my bishop.
You're delaying your kingside castle.
I am, but I also made a weakness that you're going to attack. The defender's removed, so you attack.
Already?
Yeah, the principle is attack the weakness. So that's an early queen move that makes sense because if you get this square, the attack's going to be unstoppable. You're going to have bishop f4, you're going to have knight in, it's going to be crazy. They have to prevent it.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
So now you either develop a bishop, which allows you to castle queenside if you want to, or you play the pawn move, right? So you have to decide what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think because my queen is here now, I might go, and then
Either way,
okay.
you know, I would probably choose the square
Yeah.
because of the center.
Yeah, and there's
Okay.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. Ooh.
What am I trying to get you to do? Trade pieces and develop my queen, right?
Yeah. So
What are you not going to do?
trade pieces.
And develop my queen.
Okay. So I'm looking at two moves. The first is bringing my bishop back,
Mm-hmm.
and then if I move my knight here,
Sure. Which attacks this way.
yes.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that move. It doesn't develop the king side, it doesn't prepare castling, but it does create a threat.
Yeah.
I'm simply going to castle.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing this move did was it created a situation where if I do this
Yeah.
and you play here,
Yeah. And then I can get the bishop.
so yes, this is. And
Well,
if
yes.
I do this,
Oh, then I can
And you
yes
play
do
here.
that. Yeah.
right. So that is another reason why you played that move. Okay,
Okay. Cool.
that's why you play that move, right?
Yeah.
All right, that tactic is there. You played your bishop up. I don't like you having that tactic, but I also don't want to stick my queen here and then have you play a rook here and then have all the tactics with the knight here as well.
Yeah.
I'm struggling in this position. What am I going to do? How am I going to simplify? Well, I can take,
Yeah.
but taking has a drawback too. You can take back with either one. We'll take with the bishop.
Okay.
We'll keep our pieces straight.
Okay.
All right. Struggle. If I play knight here, you have this bishop move. This bishop move is not weak at all because then there's this pawn push, and the bishop gets locked in a way that's very unhealthy. For
Yeah.
you. So it's all making sense.
Yeah.
Now you've got all your pieces off the back row. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I've castled,
Right.
and I'm going to move my rook over.
Right. I'm gonna castle.
Good idea. I'm going to play here. You're going to bring your rooks to center.
Sure.
You're going to put one on the C file, and you're going to put one on the E file, because those are the lines that look like they're going to open up.
On the E file?
The other one's going to the E file, yeah.
Not the D file.
I mean, the D file.
Okay,
You're correct.
okay.
I'm glad you corrected me. All right, we're going to take a chance and play this move. So now you have to decide what to do with your bishop. You're going to preserve your bishop. Okay, good deal. Now, what you did beautifully is you put the bishop here and not here. So there's no knight here to attack the bishop. That's great.
Yeah.
The bishop still has scope.
Yeah.
If I move my rook to the center and you play bishop here, and I have to move my rook again. I can move the bishop back. I can move my rook again, but it makes the point that the rook here isn't as strong as it, the queen's competing for squares.
Yeah.
So now you have completed your development. Now, both sides have completed their development. Who has more space?
White.
White has more space. And who's going to be able to take control over the file sooner?
White.
Right. Whether it's a semi-open file or an open file. So,
And so,
I'm
okay,
gonna play-
I have a question. So, a semi-open file means that there's no pawns and pieces.
a semi-open file means that there's a pawn on one side but not the other.
Okay.
So a Sicilian typically will have a semi-open file and a semi-open Sicilian.
Okay.
All right. So that's important because that is how that tension and those attacking lanes get done. So we're going to go back real quick to a Sicilian and then we're going to call it.
All right. Sounds good.
I'm guessing it's 6 o'clock.
It's 6:08.
So we went over 8 minutes. We did pretty well. All right. So when we're talking about semi-open, right? Now I played the Smith more earlier. You took. Okay. This is an open file.
Yeah.
And then if we get into a more classical Sicilian. No, we're good. We don't need to put them like that.
No, you're down a move though.
It's okay. We're gonna get there. I'm down a move,
Like-
but let's go.
Yeah.
There we go. And then we got the semi-open.
Got
file.
it.
And that's important because understanding the difference between semi-open and open can be the difference in the game.
Yeah.
If you have an opponent that doesn't understand controlling the open file or the semi-open file or the attacks, that will lead to victory a lot of the time. So, you're going to start with maybe those structural things
Yeah.
and understanding pawn play, and then you're going to get to the things that are basically much more important, which are the pawn levers, where your breaks are.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that.
Cool.
Good lesson.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, John. I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.